La gente que se queje pase a la otra ventanilla. Esto pa' qué. Pa' qué. Es que esto pa' qué. Pa' qué. Esto pa' qué. Pa' qué. Es que esto pa' qué. Esto pa' qué. Los pasitos prohibidos. Traigan los bomberos. Que se queme el edificio. Se queme el edificio. El techo de la vecina está prendido. Avísale bien rápido para que no te haga un lío. Para que se te tranquila, que hoy amanecemos y después vamos para el río. Esto es demasiado fancy, demasiado flow. No es para que te canse, es para que le dé con todo.
It's an all-Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Timberwolves come into town for this one. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. You look at the Jazz. These guys have been getting it done pretty much everywhere in the midst of a good stretch here. Back home again could propel them to another win.
And you can tell that both teams will be a little on edge in this one, given the rivalry these teams have. It could be an emotional game.
I think it's always that way when these guys get together. The fans and the players are jacked up. Even the vendors are ramped up, talking stuff. It's a special matchup for sure.
Greg, seems like we always talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's offensive side, but when it comes to deflections and steals, his defense, he's one of the best.
Yeah, his two-way ability is sometimes overlooked in the mainstream media. The people in the know how good of a defender he is.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander following the bucket by the Jazz. Driving inside. Gobert can't hit. And now just over a minute played here in the first. And a wide open look for Gilgeous-Alexander. And the three ball is good. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 6.
Money in the bank. Gilgeous-Alexander is more than happy to try his luck from that spot.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. Now let's go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Will Hardy.
And he knows his team has its hands full going up against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Coach said Shai is one of the best in the league when it comes to scoring off the bounce. And when he's not scoring, he's kicking it out to an open teammate. So we have to make sure our rotations are quick. We'll see how the defense responds, Kevin.
All right, David, thanks.
The classic combo guard. Gilgeous-Alexander is effective in the two-man game, especially on that first option, taking it himself.
Only one miss in the first 5 attempts, clearly feeling it.
Gilgeous-Alexander, that's a two-pointer. And that one comes up a bit short. The Jazz on offense. Thompson for 3. Buries the long-range jumper.
Well, that's exactly the guy you want to set up. I mean, Klay Thompson feels like every shot he takes is going in.
There's always a surprise, isn't there, Clark, in the offseason? Let's go back to 2022. That offseason, the Timberwolves going all in on Rudy Gobert.
Basically, Kevin, they traded 5 firsts plus a bunch of good players for Gobert. It was derided at the time, and I can understand why, but Rudy's defense has taken them to another level, and he's actually been a little better offensively than people thought he would be.
Now, here's Bamba. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And Gilgeous-Alexander throws it down.
And moving with such speed, the quickness of SGA's drives, something to admire.
And here they come. Here's George. The shot's good. Gilgeous-Alexander making the play. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Minnesota.
Well, you know, they've been aggressive on the defensive end, and it's paying off for them. Quite a few takeaways for them in the early going.
Another thing they've done well is push the tempo. They're running the floor and converting on the fast break.
And here is Gilgeous-Alexander after the three-pointer from Klay Thompson. Here's Gobert. Bricks the dunk off the deceptive pump fake. And it's the Jazz's ball. Pass to Hendricks. Bamba wide open, and he fires. Offline with his three. 58 seconds left to play in the first. Here's George to the inside. It's stolen by Rose. Here's Bamba, defended by Gobert. Jazz passing it around. There's a screen to the paint. Here's Bamba over Gobert. Bamba's shot is off.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Pass to Gobert. And finished off by Gobert.
Gobert is a big target, especially when he's roaming around that rim.
Minnesota in the lead. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. And the Jazz pushing it up now.
And you can see the importance of that steal. Really a four-point swing with the conversion at the other end.
George, that's a two-pointer. And so the first quarter comes to a close. Both teams scoring well, but it's all tied up. From the Delta Center, it's the NBA on 2K. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. What do you guys think about the Jazz here in this one?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, you know, I agree. No warm-up needed. They came in on fire and have already built a nice lead.
We know the 90s were a different era, Greg. Either win the game or win the fight. Remember that? Do you miss that physicality?
Well, I will say, Kevin, it made for some great stories, but I don't think we're missing much without all the extracurriculars. And I think we have a beautiful game now.
Shots good by Shannon.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their fifth consecutive make in the paint.
Those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thank you. The Utah Jazz last season became one of the first teams in the league to move their games to broadcast television. It's a gamble, but they just about tripled their reach. And with the rapid growth in the region, they have a chance to attract new fans. And Kevin, no doubt, other NBA teams are keen to see how this goes.
Oh, David, no question at all. And we thank you for your report. Here's Johnson. Minnesota with the rebound.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
We've seen it time and time again in the game. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Well, Greg, over the last few seasons, one area of consistency for the Jazz has been their rebounding.
Yeah, and they have some size, and they make controlling the boards a focal point. When you're playing Utah, you better be ready to put a body on somebody.
Well, you will not see that from him very often, especially right at the rim.
We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. Lowry. And that one, no good to start him off on the night. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure.
I get the feeling, guys, that he may be sensing that this is a critical time in this game.
Throws it up high.
No hesitation at all on the alley-oop. Saw his teammate with a path to the hoop and bang, lobbed it right up there for him to finish.
And he was ready for it when he elevated and made the catch.
And he chose the conservative finish with the nice, easy layup, which was a good decision.
They set the pick. Out left to the wing. Out to the wing. Fires the three. Mills with the rebound. Jazz trailed by 4. And it's Sexton penetrating. Pass to Johnson. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is. Defensively, there was a lack of aggressiveness, and it really made it easy for him to knock that shot down.
Too long in the paint. He's hit with a 3-second violation. And Greg, talk about a guy who can create for himself. Dillingham can already score on elite defenders.
Yeah, and Kevin, a lot of that is his footwork. You can see the hours he's put into it. And then add in the body control and quickness. Good luck slowing this young man down.
Out to Thompson. Launches it. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Thompson's got 9.
Arguably the smoothest jumper in the game. Klay Thompson.
Here's Gobert. Rebound, Utah.
You know, I think the effort on defense there has everything to do with why he missed that shot. Well done.
Pass to Thompson. This one for 3.
Second team foul.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Bamba's shot is off. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. And that will be the first game of 5 straight at home. Here's Gabriel. Fires from deep. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
George with a fantastic look. Excellent job creating an easy opportunity for his teammate.
Mobo gets the basket.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
Pass to Gabriel. Back to George. Now Randall. Shot clock at 5. And Randall throws it down.
Boy, what a throwdown by the well-built 6'9" Julius Randle with power.
Jazz trailed by 3. .32 seconds left to play here in the half. And it's Rose missing. Crosses over. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
And it's really obvious that George has put a ton of time into improving his handle. You never know what he's going to do with the ball in his hands, and most times it's pretty good.
Bamba's shot is off.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Here's George. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Timberwolves lead by 5. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Jazz trailed by 5. You know, Greg, thinking back to the glory days in Utah, they went to back-to-back finals in 97 and 98.
Unfortunately, though, Kevin, that Stockton-Malone era, they just couldn't overcome the dynastic Bulls. The Jazz still searching for that first NBA title.
Gilgeous Alexander, that's a 2-pointer. And Bamba pulls it down. So it's the Jazz now. It's stolen by Randall. And now Minnesota on the fast break.
A fantastic decision-making big. Randall with the right choice there, finding the open man.
Pass to Mobo. And a minute played as the second half gets going. Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
Gilgeous-Alexander deciding where to go with it.
And this is SGA's role. He's out here to score and score often.
Here's Rose. Randall grabs the board. Minnesota leading by 7. Pass to Whitehead. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. And Julius Randle with the 3. Randall's got 7.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
You know, they need to stay aggressive here. Build the lead up while they've got the chance. Don't waste this opportunity.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
Down low, Randall. Picked by Randall. Pass to Reed. Off target from outside. Jazz trailed by 10. Thompson from long range. Reed with the rebound.
They have yet to hit a shot. A real slow start here in the second half.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Olney. David?
Kevin, when you look at the draft, it seems talent evaluators have a type. Ron James says our league is always hungry for potential. That's the whole focus of the lottery. It makes sense that those guys who are taken 16 to 30 are on real contending teams and making impacts. Of course, Kevin, everybody wants to draft the next LeBron. Good luck with that.
Or work with the next David Aldridge, a Hall of Famer. David, thank you. And both free throws good for Wiggins. You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them. But not last year, as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you got to look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But, boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future.
Reed gets the bucket.
Reed has a pretty proficient three-point shot. He's a big guy who loves to stretch the floor, too.
Bamba's got space. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
And, guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Not at all. I mean, that's where they want him looking for a teammate, not trying to do it on his own. He needs to share the wealth there.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Jazz trailed by 13. Thompson in the corner. Here's Mobo. Pulls up on the elbow. Rose, no good.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
You know, fellas, 1 second quicker, and that's going the other way.
And that one is good. Gobert's got 6.
This is Gobert's comfort zone, using his size to capitalize down there.
And it's Collier missing.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
From deep, George. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Minnesota leading by 18. And George, here we go. And it's Paul George with the finish.
And you know what? For me, these dunks show exactly how great an athlete George is. I mean, sometimes you're surprised that the basket doesn't come down with the force he punches it with.
The rebound by the Jazz.
Boy, defense non-existent there, but they catch a break as he whiffs it.
Lets a floater go. Count it.
You know, not bashful about positioning himself inside. Sexton knows he has what it takes to score from there.
And here's George for 3. Hits it from 3-point range. George has got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Timberwolves. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Timberwolves ahead, running away with this one.
56.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Jazz trail by 21 to the right side. And here's Mills for 3. Randall grabs the board. And so it's Randall bringing it up now for the Timberwolves. A 21-point lead, the biggest in the game. Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go.
After hitting 1 3 in the first half, he's been unable to dial in from deep since then.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Greg, we've heard some veteran players and coaches say the league is skewing too young.
Well, because of the salary cap, you're often forced to play some younger guys, and they don't quite have a feel for the game yet. So possibly the product suffers, but it also gives you a chance to develop these young players in your system.
And now Utah, fast break. The 3 from Johnson. The basket good off the assist from Sexton.
And you can see the break slowed down for him to kind of pick his spot. And boy, was he open.
Pass to Gobert. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. And the Timberwolves lead by 18. Sexton for 3. It's good from long range.
And it's important Sexton makes those. The more he hits from outside, the more the floor will open up.
Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Well, they've continued to play pedal to the metal, leaking out and capitalizing with ease when they get opportunities in the open court.
And not just that, they're also forcing turnovers at a high rate and taking advantage in transition.
To the middle, here's Gobert, and finished off by Gobert.
Stay clear of Gobert on the dunk now. The force he goes to the rim with is mighty.
And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor. They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Pass to Mills. From downtown, good on the 3-point shot. Mills has got 5 points in the quarter.
Yeah, it's such a sweet 3-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
Here's Mobo. It's stolen by Gobert. On the wing, George. And another 3 for Minnesota.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
Yeah, I'd be confident, too. As a matter of fact, I mean, if you're stacking up threes the way he is, I mean, he's doing all this work from behind the arc.
It's George on the wing. The 3. Mobo with the rebound.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession. Sharing the ball is clearly a part of Rose's game, even coming out of college.
Timberwolves leading by 18. Outside, George. Tries it from 19. The shot's good. Gilgeous-Alexander making the play.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
Yeah, I don't think you want to get loose and sloppy or ease up, but it is time for them to start using that clock a bit.
We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Timberwolves.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the players.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Paul George.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
The three. Hendricks pulls it in. And here are the Jazz now. Shot's good by Mills.
And we know Thompson can be damaged as a scorer, but they're showing off his ability to pass it.
Well, for the Timberwolves, they can just run out the clock here. And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here.
She turn up the spot. She throwing the. She doing her thing.